See, I want to turn up... Well, I can't go straight to a cutscene. I want to turn up the volume of the music, but the problem is that when I get in combat, it's so freaking loud. We need different volume levels for combat music and ambient music. Alrighty, so only Cheska came. Oh no, the short
The situation is urgent,
came.
so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Natlan, and I'm deeply sorry this happened to her.
It does go down the center. It was just the angle she was standing on. Yeah, honey, I go back to my original supposition. That is just so uncomfortable. I don't like it. Not for me, for her. I don't know how you can understand that. Unless you're like omniscient or omnipotent and you see and know all, you have no idea what happened. Only this one and this one do. So you can't confess that she is a hero. You don't know that.
There's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, I've been unable to track down her location. Until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue to be ineffective.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come back?
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is resolved.
How long will that take?
Does it matter?
It's hard to say.
Since when has time been an issue for resurrection in Natlan?
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss. Of doing her part to defend Natlan.
From this conversation, am I assuming that this person over here is going to be pullable at one point in time? Because otherwise, why are you participating in this conversation?
She wasn't afraid of death because she knew, if it came down to it, the Pyro Archon would be there to bring her back to life.
And she is. She's trying to figure out what the problem is to then bring her back. I don't see what your problem is, Morlani.
Whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection.
And?
She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy.
I don't know why you're getting angry at the Archon.
We supported her every step of the way, but what are we supposed to do now?
She literally just told you. You need to investigate the unrest in the Night Kingdom. Do you not listen with your ears?
Sit peacefully and wait for her return? Lose ourselves in grief over her death? Tell me, are we her friends? Or her murderers?
I really don't understand this monologue. I really don't get it. No one told you to sit peacefully and wait. The Archon's literally like, bitch, come help me investigate. And you're like, ooh, I'm gonna sit down peacefully and just wait. You're literally investigating it. I don't see what your problem is. No one said to lose yourself in grief over death because, again, you're working towards a resolution. And how are you supposed to be a murderer? Do you look like the Abyss? No. Stop being so self-centered, Mualani. It's not about you.
That's not fair, Mualani.
Thank you.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your
And it's about
grief.
time someone experienced
Kachina's
it.
life means a great deal to me, Mualani.
I mean, I think it's a bit late. You should have been feeling this a bit earlier. So it feels a bit hollow to me that you're actually experiencing it now, Mualani.
Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. I would give you that peace of mind if I could.
I don't even think you need to say that to her at all. Of course you would. You don't need to say it.
But please, hear what I have to say so I can at least give you a broader picture of the issue we are now facing.
Which is why we're here, if Mualani just shuts her mouth.
Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found a new means of undermining the rules of our nation.
I mean, your rules seem pretty arbitrary, so I'm not surprised.
You mean...
The Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance against the Abyss.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate as an outsider.
If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight the Abyss, there will likely be more casualties.
I mean, that's the natural way of things. You're doing things unnaturally at the moment.
But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker.
Because the flame
The
means the
Abyss will
victories.
scale up their attacks, and the tragedy we saw with the people of the Springs will only be the first of many.
If we compare the two choices, the former seems to be the lesser of two evils. Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is my duty. The raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach this rationally.
I don't get what you're making it so dramatic. It's not the lesser of two evils. It's literally the only choice you can make at this point in time.
But what would you say, Mualani? This is personal for you. And unlike Kanich, I dare say it's not a simple case of weighing up which course of action is less painful, is it?
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't want to. Saying that one is preferable over the other is disrespectful to the people who suffered.
I don't see how.
You're saying it doesn't matter whether I suspend the pilgrimage. The consequences will be equally painful.
I completely disagree. If you guys want to be heroes of Natlan, go be goddamn heroes. Stop relying on your rite of resurrection, your ode of resurrection, as like your backup plan for, ooh, we can't truly die. Just put on your big boy pants and get out there and fight the goddamn abyss.
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks my heart. But I couldn't bring myself to sacrifice other people for her sake.
And yes, I can only say that because I'm here watching a computer screen and I'm not involved in the action in front of me, obviously. I'm detached in a way that they aren't. But really, it's the only thing you can do right now, so just suck it up and get on with it.
And that is the crux of the problem. It's not simply a matter of choosing the lesser of two evils.
I mean, I kind of feel it is.
Either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Belief in the pilgrimage will waver.
But the first is taking action and the second is inaction. Gotta be honest, 9 times out of 10, action's better than inaction, so let's just go with it.
Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against the Abyss. And that is exactly what the Abyss wants.
Yes.
Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection work. It's to destroy the people's faith in them.
Yes.
To prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone else, we need to suspend the pilgrimage. So that is my current plan. And in the meantime, I've made efforts to strengthen each tribe's defenses.
I disagree. I think you should go out in number. Because the Abyss won't necessarily be expecting, I mean, they probably are expecting some sort of reprisal from their actions. But generally speaking, if you only send down like 5 people every time, if you send 100, they're not going to be expecting that. So I'm for team go attack the Abyss en masse.
Then we have to find another way of strengthening the sacred flame to keep the Abyss at bay. This won't be easy. I'll need time to figure out the best approach.
And that seems more like a long-term goal. We need to be focusing on the short-term goal right now, which is figuring out your problem with the Night Kingdom to find out where Kachina's soul is.
I understand your anger, Mualani, but I hope that provided some clarity at least.
You didn't talk about the short-term plan.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated for a second, but the Pyro Archon took the time to explain everything so patiently.
I owe you an apology, Archon.
You do.
I let myself get carried away earlier.
You did.
And I'm sorry.
You should be.
You're right. We need to focus on finding solutions.
Correct. Your emotions are not fixing the situation, Mualani. You can feel them at your leisure by yourself. Right now, we're here for answers and solutions, not just dumping your emotions on other people.
We could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to fight in the Night Warden Wars. That way, we would still be able to fuel the sacred flame.
As in another tournament?
I've considered that, but the two events have nearly always been
Yeah,
linked.
I don't think that would work because the goal of the tournament is to send somebody into the war. So it would be like a half-hearted measure.
Without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage rankings lose their prestige, and competitor numbers will drop.
Which will make the whole point moot.
With fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will decrease, and the vicious cycle will continue indefinitely.
So, essentially, the Abyss is taking Kachina hostage.
What happens if you stay in the Night Kingdom for a long period of time? Wait. Are you sending me to the Night Kingdom because I'm not attached to the Natlan land? And I may not sustain the ill effects of prolonged period in the Night Kingdom the way a Natlanian would?
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels,
Oh, very
yes?
much so. In Azuma in particular.
The Night Kingdom is something similar. Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on the person. But with the Abyss in the picture, it's a different story.
But I'm from another world, so it shouldn't affect me as much. Can I point out the problem with the Traveler and Paimon in this shot? Everyone else has like highlights and points of light on the design. She looks like, oh, actually both of them, Paimon as well. They look like they're in shadow comparatively.
Your sense of self will be devoured until eventually you become one with the sea of souls.
What a way to go.
Imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try to scoop up another cup, but there's no chance it will be the same water you had before.
Lovely analogy.
I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger Kachina is currently facing.
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems need to be addressed. You can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame. I will go search for Kachina.
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will not return. Knowing that, do you still choose to go?
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her. That's all that matters.
I failed to protect her during our campaign, but I can make it up to her now. I choose to go as well.
Traveler? What do you think?
This isn't how it should end for her. I promised she would have the chance to learn from me.
Understood. Then I'll support you in any way I can. The Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley lines.
Okay.
If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use the link between them to pinpoint her position within the Night Kingdom.
I thought you were saying you were just gonna like yank it out from the Night Kingdom, problem solved, and I'm like, but that doesn't solve the unrest in the Night Kingdom. We still need to go there.
Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom in person and rescue her.
But isn't the Night Kingdom a land of souls? Can we even go there?
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is a way to go there in person. However, know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you, and the Abyss certainly won't leave you be.
That's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss is nothing new for me.
It won't be a problem.
So, Paimon's the only one who's scared?
Half of the course.
Well, if she's going, Paimon's going too.
Because we're codependent like that, apparently.
Citlali of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that can be used to communicate with the Wyab. We call it the Spirit Speaker Stone. It was originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chiefs. But that spiritual quality also means it can be used to search for an ancient name.
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago. Didn't think I'd be hearing about it again so soon.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Why are you thanking us? We're not doing it for you.
Your thanks are unnecessary.
Right?
I will offer you whatever aid I can, but your fellowship and courage are what will truly decide the success of this operation.
We're a fellowship, guys. Fellowship of the night?
Besides,
Flame?
you're the ones
Flame.
helping me. I can only focus on one thing at a time, after all.
This one here has been remarkably silent for all this time. Okay, she's going to be an electro user.
Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation to be so serious.
Why did you expect that we would be having a conversation at all, is what I would like to know the answer to.
I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and offer you Natlan's highest level of hospitality.
Well, that's a first.
Why?
Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations
Nope.
you visited?
Not even remotely. This is the first time that's happened to us. It's kind of complicated, but looks like we're really making a name for ourselves.
Yeah, things were pretty complicated at the start. And, in the middle. But our reputation's solid nowadays.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're someone who transcends fate.
So I get told. You know quite a lot about me.
Perhaps even
Who's
more
your
than you can
information
imagine.
source? Your informant?
But we can talk about that some other
No,
time.
I want to know who your informant is. I'm really intrigued now.
Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some musical ambiance. But there are important things to be done.
Indeed.
Oh, I almost forgot. Atea was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. She wanted us to give this to you. It embodies fond memories and my strength of will. That's what she asked us to tell you. She said you'd know what that means.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force. I can feel them flowing within the talisman.
You know, that's the right design and color scheme for Cheska.
If things
Just
were
saying.
different, The two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs together while she gave this to me in person. We're supposed to be hot spring buddies after all. But don't worry. This talisman means a great deal to me. I'll take good care of it. And once this is all over, I'll pay Atea a visit.
Why are you two staying behind?
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of contending fire. But that's not at all why you decided to suspend the pilgrimage, is it?
Why is this conversation happening without the Traveler? I hate it when they do that.
You're right. Even now, the production of contending fire is far from sufficient. The gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted in a massive shortage of pyro energy, and we're currently at the breaking point, as things stand. The pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending it allows us to save our strength to defend the tribes.
Hear me out. This may not work because I don't really know how Tevat works at all in any way, shape, or form, especially Natlan. Natlan's weird. What if you called upon every pyro user in Tevat to convene upon Natlan and use their power either to support the sacred flame or to go on your pilgrimages? Because let's face it, if the Abyss breaks out, entirety of Tevat's fucked. So everybody should be concerned about this particular front line. So if you have your pyro users going down through your wars, fighting back the Abyss, could that give you extra, what are you calling them? Oh, it's not on my subtitles here. Contending flame. Contending fire? Contending fire. Could the pyro users give you more of that? Just a suggestion. It'd be really cool if it did, and it'd be very dramatic and momentous to gather people from other lands to come support this land, but this game wishes it was that cool.
The Abyss has brought catastrophe to Natlan, and Kachina's disappearance in the Night Kingdom is a direct consequence of that.
I'm gonna say, Mavika, I really hate your ahoge. It's thick and it's tall, and it's just distracting in ways it shouldn't be. That's this bit of hair there. It's just, I wish you didn't have it.
We can't let the general public know that.
Well, obviously.
No. If the public learned that Natlan's destruction was close at hand, there would be immense panic.
I think there's already immense panic, dear.
But if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity of Natlan's heroes.
That's because the people suck.
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution. But you chose otherwise.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice is the one with the fewest sacrifices.
Agreed. It's the easy choice, but it's not the right choice every time.
Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last a little longer.
So they're gonna be doing a secret mission that you won't tell me that you're actually doing. How underhanded.
You mean?
Wait, you guys are going on the pilgrimage?
Yes. Come with me.
No. Yeah, no? I mean, I feel like they're going on a pilgrimage, just the three of them, but considering she was vehemently against the plan, although they would be doing it in secret, so that actually could
The
work.
sacred flame must never go out.
Continuing, sorry.
Not only does it strike fear in the Abyss, but it's also the pillar of Natlan's stability.
I thought we were just leaving it there, leaving me in suspense. You're actually going to tell me what you're doing. Fantastic.
So until our heroes are ready, I will sacrifice my power to keep it burning.
Have you considered giving your powers back to the Dragon of Pyro? He might be able to fix the problem. Just saying. He's stronger than you'll ever be. He, she, whatever.
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the remaining ancient name bearers.
I think you should rely on all the vision bearers of Pyro.
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wyeb have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends, not us.
But if you don't give them the option, then you're deciding for them in the opposite form by not giving them the choice. Just saying.
All we can do is support them.
That's not supporting them. It's still making a decision for them.
Even so, for you to make this
Ian-san.
sacrifice, it's not right.
Okay.
If not me, then who? No other is capable of sustaining the sacred flame. I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
But maybe that's what the Abyss wants. the Archon to deplete their strength so that you cannot protect Natlan. Again, just saying. Have you considered the Pyro Dragon?
Archon, it's the Fatui!
The end result's going to be... Are you kidding me? Does this feel like the time? Jesus. And I'm not even here to witness
the Archon
this?
of Natlan.
Fuck me.
A force to be reckoned with.
Il Capitano, the captain, the
The
first of the
secret of the
Harbingers.
ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
What oath made 500 years ago?
I don't know what you mean. But
You
it
went alive
sounds like
for
this
it.
is about more than the Tsaritsa.
You went
In
alive.
times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the
Main
dawn of
character
a new
energy.
age, the old must be destroyed.
Is that dark energy? Dark
I
is an
assume that's
element.
the end of your speech? Good. People like us. Let our blades do the talking!
I'm kind of annoyed that the Traveler is not witnessing this. I mean, she should be stronger than him, right? Because she's an Archon. There's nothing stronger than the Archons. Except for the dragons. When they have their power back.
Alright.
Rapidash, I choose you! Can we not ruin the stadium? How's nobody seeing this fight? They're literally glowing above the stadium level. That looks like the wishes when you pull. Oh wait, colors reversed. You get 5 stars. It's a very long fight. I said, don't ruin the stadium. Clearly no one was listening to me. Does she even have any power left to continue with her plan now that El Capitano has used her power up a little bit? Okay. Oh, that's just his, like, ninja bomb, smoke bomb to leave.
Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Oh, he's using power of one of the clans? Is that what you're insinuating? Huh. Interesting. Which clan's that? I don't know the other 3. I'm assuming you've lost a lot
Are
of your
you all
power
right,
from that
Archon?
fight, right? Right? Yeah, I thought that me using the Italian names for the Fatui was something that only I did. Because in the game, they always refer to them as the Doctor and the Captain. I was the only one using the Italian names, but here we go. It literally said Il Capitano. Mine is just because they're all from Commedia dell'arte, and that's where I'm getting my references from. But yeah, no, it looks like the game, it's been a while since we've seen one, so I don't really remember. It looks like the game does also use the Italian references. I had other thoughts, but you know, I got distracted by the really long fight.
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbingers.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened 5 centuries ago?
That's where we were going. Yeah, okay, so he said some sort of vow, some oath had been taken 500 years ago. But I have further questions. One, what kind of bloody oath did you make at the fall of Khaimria? I want to know the answer to that. I want to know who made the oath, because it sounds like it might have been between the Fatui or Tsaritsa and the Archons. So I'd like to know who made it and why. But I'd also like to know why the Pyro Archon today is being called upon to uphold a vow made by one of her predecessors 500 years ago. And it seems that she doesn't actually know what it means. I have many questions.
Yeah. And how much does he know about Natlan?
Well, a lot, clearly. I like your feathers.
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis.
This I am aware of.
But I'm sure the captain has his own reasons for being here as well.
Obviously.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui. If they attack again and we're not prepared, we're done for.
And now we have a battle on 2 fronts. Delightful.
No, we're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being.
But what about your wound?
Besides, I'm sure you noticed. The power that came to his rescue just now came from the Masters of the Nightwind.
In other words, there are traitors among us.
We're playing a different game now, guys.
Not necessarily. This could prove to be a very valuable turn of events.
Elaborate.
When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him.
It's called the Abyss.
I'll need to investigate further. Kenichi, go to the Masters of the Nightwind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Lali. She should know.
Of course, I'll head out right now. Do you still intend to...
Yes, but fear not. Natlan's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must trust in that vision now.
I have problems with what you're about to do. One, you're weakening the Gnosis, which again, the Pyro Dragon can make far better use of it. But I suppose they don't use the Gnosis, do they? They use the magic within the Gnosis, but whatever. But just now, you have been told of a secondary threat to your nation. The captain is going to continue to make moves on your land to take the power and pretty much get rid of all of you. So your response is to continue with your previous plan to sacrifice a large portion of your power to the sacred flame. I know that's important, but that means you're weakening yourself to an active threat, the Fatui. You've made no backup plans for the Fatui while you give away all your power. I'm seeing just a big flaw. You're not reacting to the situation that just happened. You've sort of pushed it aside and are continuing on with your previous plan just because you feel like the captain is damaged enough that he can't do anything in the meantime. You're not going to magically regain power before he does if you're giving it away in such quantities. So I don't think you're going to be prepared for round 2 and he's going to beat your ass and I'll have no one to blame but you for it. Rapid Ash Energy's back.
Is everything okay, Archon?
Yeah, that was really anticlimactic if she was just giving her power to the flame.
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into flames. Too late now.
I'm sure somebody has a picture.
I just hope the others have a safe journey.
That was a really anticlimactic transferal of power. I was expecting more fireworks, more flames. Guess not. Expectations were too high, apparently. You would have seen the light show. Hey, there's a Pyroculus.
What's happening at the stadium? Did something explode?
Again, you would have seen the light show because they were above the rim of the stadium for most of their fight.
It feels like the Archon unleashed her power. She must be fighting a formidable opponent.
Should we go back and check what's going on?
Kachina doesn't have that much time. I mean, I think time is relative for Kachina at this point. To use the Archon's own analogy, her cup of water is already in the river. Whether you try to scoop her up immediately or scoop her up later, technically she's already in the river. The only thing that's going to save her is using her ancient name to find her. So time's not really going to make a difference.
Have faith in the Archon. She wouldn't lose in a one-on-one confrontation.
Once we find Kachina's ancient name, we'll head right back.
Okay, let's just keep climbing. Emma really hopes nothing goes wrong.
Except I'm going down because of the Pyroculus. Battlefield of ice and fire. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? What angle? It was the stadium. There you are. I'm not going to be high enough for that, I don't think. I think I'm going to lose way too much height for that. Oh. Wait. Oh, for God's sake. Spacebar. You need to engage when I tell you to engage, not when you feel like engaging. I can't afford the drop of height. There we go. What are we above? What are we above? What is this?